Hi there, this is Dan Cardoza back with day number 5 of the Transform 21-day Rapid Fat Loss Toolkit. Now, yesterday we began module number 2 by talking about caloric balance. And the main thrust of the lesson there was simply that you want to establish a negative caloric balance, meaning that you want to take in less calories than what you are burning off if your goal is fat loss and weight loss. There's no way you're going to lose weight if that basic premise is not at least met, that you're taking in less calories than what you're burning off. Now, today's lesson is not so much about the quantity of food like yesterday's lesson was about. Today's lesson is more about the quality of food. And we're going to talk about, here in day 5, we're going to talk about nutrient balance. Now, there are 3 main nutrients that are in most foods. They are, number 1, protein, number 2, carbohydrates, and number 3, fats. Truth of the matter is your body needs all 3 of these nutrients. If your goal is fat loss, guess what? You actually need some fat in your diet, but it's got to come from the right sources. Same thing with carbohydrates. Don't be fooled into thinking that carbohydrates are bad. They're not bad. It's just, where are you getting your carbohydrate intake from that can be good or bad? And then, of course, number 3, protein is really going to be the pillar. It's going to be the cornerstone of every meal that you sit down and eat. So again, I'm going to encourage you to make sure you're reading the material, the reading material down below this video, because we're not going to be able to cover every aspect of nutrient balance here in these videos. Otherwise, we'd be here for hours. But read the material. It's going to give you the best essence of what you need to know. And then this video, and all the videos for that matter, are simply going to supplement the reading material and highlight a few of the key points. Now, what I want to do next is point you in the direction of the toolbox, which is always, as you know, located right below the videos. And in the toolbox today, you are going to see the following document. Now, what you're looking at here is a menu design planner, and this, simply put, is going to give you some more specific ideas about where you can get your protein from, where you can get your carbohydrates from, where you can get your fat from, and even where you can get some freebie flavor enhancers from in your kitchen cabinets, in your fridges, in your freezers, to make sure that you're eating in a more balanced way and getting enough of the right nutrients in your system. So if you want to go ahead, open that document, or you can just simply follow along in this video, but make sure you open that document, save it to your Transform folder, which hopefully you're saving all of these tools that I'm providing for you, and that way you'll have the best benefit from following along on this 21-day journey together. So let's start by looking at the first box here that simply is entitled Quality Proteins. Now, every time you sit down to a meal, and this is how I want you to think about your nutrient balance and your diet, is on a meal by meal basis. Every time you sit down to a meal, I want you to say, is there a quality protein in this meal? And if there isn't, you're starting off on the wrong foot if your goal is fat loss. One of the biggest benefits of protein is that, well, a couple of things. Number 1, it's going to be a food that has a high thermic effect. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. All that means is that it's going to take your body a lot of work to process and digest that food, and you're actually going to be burning calories just to process that protein. But it's got to be from a good quality source. So here you have a list of some good quality proteins that you can, again, every time you look at your meal, you say, okay, do I have a good quality protein here? Here's a long list of some of the foods that would qualify as quality protein. So you want to make sure you have some protein in the diet and in each meal every time you look down at that plate. Now, the other benefit to protein is that it's going to contribute to a hormonal state, and we'll talk about hormonal balance tomorrow, but it's going to contribute to a hormonal state that optimizes your internal fat burning body chemistry. So there's lots of benefits to having protein. You absolutely need to have it at every meal without question.